Hey gang, we have another arcade review to do, and what I'm going to be talking about today are these Hi-Score Save and Freeplay kits for Nintendo games like Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. and Mario Brothers. I happen to have three kits here that we'll be talking about today. You can get these kits at arcadeshop.com. They're just, you know, little daughter boards you can see right there. It fits in my hand. Um, this is the first time I've seen one of these in person, so it looks like it's a simple plug and play kit. You just pop the Z80 CPU off the board set and you put it on here, and you plug this in where you took your Z80 out, and that should do it. I have three kits here. I've got the DK kit I have is actually the D2K kit is what it's called. So it not only has the free play and the high score save, it also has a second game on it called Donkey Kong 2 Jumpman Returns, which from my understanding was not an official Nintendo release. It was actually I think written about 10 years ago or so by a hobbyist by the name of Jeff Kulzicki, I believe is how you pronounce his name. If I pronounced that wrong, please forgive me. So I happen to have the other two kits I have are for Donkey Kong Jr. and that one on the end there is for Mario Brothers. So let's take a look at these, and I'll get a Donkey Kong board out here and we'll see how easy the installation is. Okay, so here's a standard Donkey Kong 2 board set. And I think this is the most common Donkey Kong board set. There's also a 4-board version, and some of those, from what I understand, have soldered on CPUs. So for those of you that have that board, installation's not going to be that simple. But for most of us here, we have a board like this. What we're going to do is we're going to pop off the CPU located at 7C, which is this one right here. Now, one thing you'll want to take note of is there's a pin marked pin 1, which usually has a little, you probably won't be able to see it on my camera, but it's right there. There's a little dimple in that corner that indicates pin 1. So what I usually like to do, just to make sure I don't plug chips in backwards, is just take some kind of marking device like a pen cap here, and just lay it right there, and that'll tell me that that's okay. That's pin 1. We'll take a little pocket screwdriver and we'll very carefully rock that in there back and forth until the CPU pops loose, and I'm going to need 2 hands for that. Okay, so we got it out. Make sure we didn't bend any pins or anything like that. Now we've got the D2K kit here, and right there where you can see I'm pointing at where that number 1 is, and there's like a little white square there, I guess, to also indicate that that's the pin number 1. I still got the dimple right there on the top portion of my hand, so we'll plug it in just like that, making sure that there's no bent pins or anything like that. Once again, I need 2 hands. Okay, so there we go, and we'll just check, make sure it's in there nice, all the pins are in there nice and straight. We've got pin 1 matched up to the dimple on the CPU, and it'll plug into that empty slot that we took the CPU out the same way. And just like that, we got the kit in. Now the DK Jr. should be installed the same way. I'm not going to make separate videos for each one. It should also be located at 7C on Junior, and on Mario Brothers the kit will be located at 5E. So let's put this in the arcade game and see what happens. Okay, so with the kit installed, you start off with a screen like this, Donkey Kong 2 Power Up Self-Test. You have your, it does your RAM, ROM check, everything you can see here checks out. Press player 1 button for settings menu, or press jump to start game. time left. We're going to let that count down just to show you when that runs down, it just goes right into the game there. And you can see on the bottom corner of my screen, I've got free play. I've got all my high score saved, albeit not that glamorous. And I've got a track sound turned on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off and back on, enter the settings menu, and show you how that works. And you can adjust the timer too. I'll show you that in the settings menu. So we're going to press player 1, and here's the settings menu. So now you can see instead of dip switches, everything is now menu based with this game. Up and down again to select, jump to toggle. So I have my live set for 3. You can change that to 4, 5, 6. Bonus, which is the bonus score for an extra life. You can change that to 10, 15, 20, or 7. Well, I'll leave mine set for 10. DK and D2K high scores. Now, let me explain this one. If you want to erase your high scores, you can do that. You can, for each individual game, you can select them. You can erase them all. Or if you want to just keep the top high score, you can just erase the other 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm going to keep all mine. Now, I'm not sure if it does that with every power cycle or if you have to go into the menu every time to make those adjustments or not, because I just usually just keep mine on all the time. But either way, whatever you select in any of these menus, it will not save any of these settings, by the way, until you go down here to save and exit, and then jump to toggle. Just so you know that. Coinage. Okay, I've got mine set for free play. You can also change that to 1 coin for 2 player, 1 coin for 3 credits, 1 coin for 4 credits, or 2 coins for 1 credit, 3 coins, 4 coins, or 5. So if you have this on location, you can change that. I'm going to leave mine on free play here. Now the boot timeout, that's the timer I was talking about. When you first get the kit, I believe the default is actually 10 seconds, and I've got mine set for 20 just to allow me a little more time. But you can change that too. Wait, I believe, means that when you turn on the game, it will just go into the boot up menu and stay there until you tell the game what to do next. 0 seconds is a special setting. I've never tried it, but from what I understand, what it means is if you save that setting, it will never show the boot up menu. It will go right into the game, and you'll have a limited amount of time to go into your coin door, press and hold your service switch to enter this menu and make the changes that way. I've never tried that, so I can't attest to whether or not it works, but seeing as how it's very well documented on Arcade Shop's website, I tend to believe everything that they say about their kit. I don't see why they would lie about it. Or you can change the timer to 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or 20 seconds. Startup game. You can, I believe, when you first get the kit, it'll actually, the default is Donkey Kong 2, which is D2K there. I leave mine set for Donkey Kong. Just that's the game I like it to start up on. And the attract sound. I've got mine set to full, which means my attract sound is always on. You can turn it off completely. You can turn it on 12%, which will mean 1 in every 8 cycles the sound will come on. 25%, 1 in 4, and 50% means the sound will be on half the time. So I'll leave all my settings where they are. We'll go to save and exit. And again, you can see right there, it goes right into the Donkey Kong screen. Free play with my high score left intact. I can hit the start button without putting a quarter in, without adding any credits, and start the game. Now to get into Donkey Kong 2, all you do is hold down 1 and 2 players start at the same time. And you'll get a screen like this. It'll say press jump to switch to D2K Jumpman Returns. Now another thing I haven't tried, but from what I understand, also very well documented on the website. If you do not have your game set to free play, this option will be disabled. So whatever game you have set as the startup game, that's the only game you'll be able to play until you go into your menu and make changes. So we're going to hit jump to go to Donkey Kong 2. You can see again, free play, all my high scores, albeit not that glamorous again, left intact. And there it is, Donkey Kong 2. I hit the start button again without adding any quarters. You can see a little garbage there. That's my PCB. It's not the kit. And we're playing Donkey Kong 2. Now I'll kind of do just a quick little gameplay. I'm standing next to the camera, so it's not going to be very glamorous. There's plenty of Donkey Kong 2 gameplay videos out there on YouTube if you want to look them up. And just see how Donkey Kong 2 plays and all the levels. This is also very well documented on Arcade Shop's website. All the different levels, what they do. We'll try it again here real quick. Why not? Yeah, it's very difficult. You can see that's why my high score is not all that glamorous. But anyway, I'm not going to show you on my Junior the menus because, you know, with the exception of the extra game on Donkey Kong, they're exactly the same. The settings are exactly the same. So if you buy a Donkey Kong Junior kit, it's going to be pretty much the exact same thing. So now I'll move the tripod over to Mario Brothers and show you that one. Okay, so here's Mario Brothers. You can see I've got my free play and my high score there. Now I'm going to turn the game off and back on just to show you. It's going to go very quick. It will start off with this version 1.4 and the self-test passed. And on the first screen here, you'll see in the corner there, you can see the 1.4 there and free play. Now if there's any abnormalities, I can't say that right, I believe it will show an error message where that 1.4 is. Now you can see all my high scores are all there. I do not have any alkaline batteries on the board set, just the kit. And to act, other than that, it pretty much just acts like the normal Mario Brothers arcade. Everything is done with the service switch and the coin door. You can hold that down. I haven't tried distributions. I don't know if it saves that or not. Doesn't look like it. Press either start button to clear number of players. Okay, well, it's irrelevant. And then free play, you know, just like in the regular game, pushing either start button will clear free play or enable free play, depending on what you have your game set to. You know, and then the monitor adjustment and self-test. You know, everything is just like normal. Press start button to step to next test, and then it'll do the CRT test. And it'll go through all the sounds. And we're not going to sit through all those. And return to game mode. So, you know, obviously now I got free play and everything saved. I just hit the start button and I go to Mario Brothers. And that's pretty much it. If there's any other questions, you can either contact me and I'll try to answer them. Like I said though, these kits are available on arcadeshop.com. It's a very organized website. And they have a ton of details on what the kits do, how they work, how they install, how we recommend them. So that's my review. Thanks for watching. And yes, it's even Rob approved.